Okay. Hi, this Miss Melinda. Welcome to Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show. Have you ever been here before? Have you seen any of my videos? If not, watch this one and have a good time. For those of you who are new, or haven't seen that many videos, I've got this is like my 42nd video, somewhere around 42 videos. So I'd like you to eventually jump around to all of them. But I want you to stay in the now, my subscribers, my fans, my viewers, and all you new viewers. I want you to, what I did was I was teaching like 5 big classes and then a few little ones on the side, but I didn't even get to that. So anyway, I turned it into, one morning I woke up and spontaneously decided I'm going to turn my Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show, for now, I'm going to turn it into one big, huge, long law class. And it's going to be called Trials. So we're using Jodi Arias, that murder trial that she's sentencing, in a prison in Arizona. She's got life without parole. So anyway, she murdered Travis Alexander. Okay, so, first of all, I want to say, how do you like I got my nails done? Don't they look nice? Look at my new nails. Yeah, that's pretty. First of all, the first thing you all have to do, whenever I come into my YouTube channel, it always puts me in home. There's the word home, video, shorts, and something else. I don't know why they keep forcing me into home. If you're in home, get out and hit videos. You can only follow me if you click into the word videos. So you'll have my picture, it'll say at Melinda Ivkovitz, and it'll say Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva Show. And a little ways below, it'll have home, video, short, and something else. Get out of that home or anything you're in and get into video. That is the only way you're going to be able to follow my classes that I plan to teach the rest of my life until I'm either mentally or physically not able to teach anymore. I'm going to be teaching the rest of my life because I love it. It makes me study. And I enjoy, entertaining my guests, and I love my diva costumes. You'll never see me wear the identical diva costume more than once. You may see the same, crop jacket, but it'll always have a new top. Or you'll see a new same top, but it'll always have a new different jacket. But I got so many clothes, there ain't going to be too much repetition of anything. And I will always keep up on my wardrobe. But that's part of the fun of this show, is, I'm a Hollywood diva, from the get-go. So for all you new people, we are in a law class, and I named it Trials, plural, Trials, because it's going to be, we're focusing on the Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander. She was his girlfriend, and he was going to take another woman to Cancun, Mexico. So after they had all-night sex together and took 200 pictures in his digital cam, they took pictures of each other all night long naked, and it was shown in the courtroom. I just saw it on the internet, but they just put like a black stripe over her private parts, But they show her body like real close up in the screen, and they tell you everything. So there's a lot of sex, murder, and, sensation and excitement. So I'm just trying to fill in any new people what's going on. So what I'd like you to do, right now, we don't have to worry about you jumping around to other videos. You need to get into videos, and I won't be there yet in this costume because I don't upload this till I'm done with the show. So it won't even get uploaded for a couple of days, to tell you the truth. So, but it will be uploaded within a few days, you know. So what we have is we have trials. And so we have, it's called Law Class 1 Trials. Law Class 2 Trials. You have to sit up one with good posture and lean forward. Okay. We have Law Class 1 Trials. Law Class 2 Trials. Law Class 3 Trials. Law Class 4, 5, 6, and right now I think we're on Law Class 7. Yeah, this will be Law Class 7. Okay, I just uploaded 5 and 6 this afternoon. Yeah, and I'm already getting hits up the wazoo, and they're watching it too. So this trials class is a blast. It was the best idea I came up with. I woke up one morning not knowing what I was going to do. I had an idea I was going to go back to teaching a few more classes of voir dire because there's so much involved in that. We will be going back to everything, you know, for months. And I have other, so they're all high-profile trials. And I was graduated in 2008, downtown Chicago at McCormick College in paralegal studies, associate degree in paralegal studies, at the corner of Madison and Michigan Avenue, where you can see the Silver Worm. I have to repeat this so all the new people know who I am. And then I went to that same school years ago, back in 1989, 90, 91, in court reporting school. The same one, McCormick College, MAC, downtown Chicago, Illinois. And the first time when I was going to court reporting school there in 89, 90, 91, I got straight A pluses. I got 180 words a minute, and then I quit. And I said, I proved to myself I learned the whole court reporting theory and the entire English language and court reporting theory, so I was happy. And I got up to 180 words a minute. You got to get 230 words a minute to pass the Illinois State court reporting test. I wasn't interested in pursuing it any further. I decided I switched to Triton College, and I was there for about 8 years. And then, long story short, I graduated. I went back and I graduated in 2008 in paralegal studies. So I do have a good law, concrete foundation. But I was born a natural lawyer. Okay, so all you new people at least have a little idea of me. Now, the trials also, the class. So I would like all the new people, and even the subscribers and the viewers, you know, come on and subscribe. And what you got to do, so what everybody has to do, I started this new big law class. And I told you, Law Class 1, on and on and on, and it's all called trials. I need for you all to go to Law Class 1 Trials. Watch it like 5 to 10 times at your own pace, at your own convenience. A lot of them I started making hour-long ones because you're really supposed to do it that way. You know, I started making more like an hour and 40 minutes. I think I've busted 1 or 2 videos. I've busted 2 hours, I think. Yeah, so it's really nice to see because this tablet has a lot of gigabytes, like 276 gigabytes. That's why I can videotape for like 2 hours and it works, you know. You have to have an expensive tablet or, you know, a phone, I guess, or a laptop. So, so if you go to Class 1, Law Class 1 Trials, you watch it like 5 times, then go to 2, then go to 3, then 4. So do it like that. Yeah. so that you are reading me in chronological order. If you don't listen to me and you just start watching, well, you can watch the first video you come to for fun, because it'll be like the last video I posted. So you gotta press videos if you want to get me in order. If you don't press videos and you don't get out of home, they go for me. They say it's for me. Well, I don't want the videos they throw up at the top, because it's in this home. It's in that label, home. And they go, this is for you. I never picked out those videos to put there. They got all these, crazy videos they just slap up at the top, and it's all over the place. There is no chronological order. You don't have a clue what. So get out of home and always click in videos. And then you will get the newest video will always be first. Okay? And it'll be like that. And in videos, you will see a whole row of videos. Okay? And you'll see another whole row of videos. And another whole row of videos. So in one screen, after this tablet, I have it uploaded to my laptop. I like to watch it on a big, huge screen on my laptop. I look so much better on a big laptop, So what I do so on the laptop, you'll get to see like 5 rows maybe, one after the other, and you'll get to see a picture, the front picture of each video. So you'll get to see each costume, that I'll be wearing when you go into that. You click into that video. But I could take my jacket off if I'm wearing a jacket, all kinds of things. So I want you to be in videos. You have to be, and then it'll have the rows and rows and rows, so you get to see all the costumes at one time. And then, since I have so many, now I'm up to, I think this is my 42nd video. So since I have so many, you will have to scroll down, vertically to get more rows and more rows and more rows, see, like that. And you'll enjoy getting to see each costume before you even go into the video. It's real fun to be able to see all of my costumes, row by row, real long rows. And it's all in order. Yeah, it's not that home. Yes, you can't be in home. Please go to videos every time. Okay, so please, all of you and the subscribers that have watched, I would like you to you got new ones to watch today. I gave you 2 new ones in one day today. So you have those to watch. But I would like the subscribers to go back to Trials Class Number 1 and watch all of them again in chronological order. And you do it on your own convenience. I'm not giving you a schedule or a commitment. No, nobody wants commitments. All I'm saying is, go back to 1. If you want to watch 10 minutes of it, I've had enough, you leave. You can go back to 1 again another day, or later the same day. Or, you can watch. It's best if you can watch the whole video. But I don't expect you to watch like 2 whole videos in one day, unless you're enjoying it. My girlfriend has her own YouTube channel, but hers got 300 videos because she's been on there 7 years. I love to go back to her old ones and re-watch it. I enjoy watching all her old ones, so I'm constantly. But I really want you all to follow the Trials, because it turns into a big soap opera, as you'll see today on these 2 I just uploaded. It's the last one, the black one. So I uploaded 2 videos about 3:30 this afternoon. So the second to last video, I'm wearing a cream colored furry collar, but I take it off and I'm in a top. Okay. And then the most recent, I'm in an all see-through black top. So that one is where at the very end of the class, it gets really, really dirty sex that I have to say. I am teaching you to be lawyers. I am not a lawyer. I'm not anywhere near as educated. But I did get my associates in paralegal, so I have a really good foundation. And court reporting trains you a real lot, how to be in court and everything, too. And we have arbitrary words and phrases we had to learn on the steno machine, see? So, but I was a natural-born lawyer. And here's the icing on the cake. I knew in the 1960s, I knew I was meant to be a lawyer. So I used to watch all the Perry Mason episodes, and I'd watch him work that courtroom and the jury. And it was in black and white. He had recorded those Perry Mason trials, just fake ones, but they were made to be real, yeah. So you could learn from them. I think he filmed those like in the 50s or 40s or 50s, yeah, and it was only black and white you could get. Then when he got older, he made his own new episodes, yeah. But I have been watching like CSI and Dateline and Forensic Files. CSI, I studied CSI on the TV for since the 1980s. They came out with a real lot of CSI, crime scene investigation. So I'm real educated in crime scene investigation, because when I'm doing anything with the law, I don't lose my attention. My ears and eyes are glued to that TV. So I've watched every high profile, basically pretty much that you could think of. Except lately they've been crappy. Except they have this Diddy one I might look a little bit at. But anyway, I got these special high profile, in my back pocket, high profile trials that we will do after Jodi Arias and Travis. I mentioned a couple of my other favorite serial killers. I'll mention, the ones I've seen the trial, and I've seen the real them, and I've seen a movie on all these serial killers. I've been studying serial killers for 40 years. And the whole police operation. And I've been studying trials, like I said, since the 60s. After the 60s, they started coming out with true, ways to see trials. Or in the 80s is when they really started coming out with trials that were real, and you could watch them. In the early 80s, and you could watch these real trials. And then they started coming out with high profile. So I have watched hundreds, easily hundreds, because I watched them. I watched, TV every night, you know what I mean? And if I was working or going to school, I would record. I'd leave the recorder on, So I have watched hundreds of trials. So right there makes me an educated, to some degree. I have kind of an education of a lawyer. When you watch, I've probably watched maybe 300 at least. There were so many programs, I can't even think of all the names, but I would watch them over and over, the same episodes, like Forensic Files. I watched them for 20 years, and they're still playing them on headline news. I watched them for 20 years, every episode of Forensic Files. And I watched each one over, I'd watch it 10 times before I'd get sick of that episode. So now I'm sick of them and I won't watch it at all. But I learned a lot on CSI, and that's the basics and the old-fashioned. But today, they still do the old-fashioned CSI. So that's the team that comes to the crime scene and starts taking pictures and doing this and doing that. Well, they still use the old-fashioned crime scene investigation in the beginning when they all get there, the team. They'll do the same procedure, as they were doing in the 60s in the beginning. And then they jumped to this real sophisticated. So they came out with CSI with Ratio and that Miami-Dade. That's a real Miami-Dade police station. It's huge, right not far from the beach. And it's all realistic. The whole thing is realistic, and they show you exactly how they do the CSI teams. They got computers. This Miami-Dade police department is huge, and they're all glass walls. You can see all the offices from office to office. They're glass walls with this neon pink or neon blue or neon green, all the beachy colors, because you're right near the beach. That's what the walls reflect, like all these beachy colors. Everything's beachy colors. And it's a huge police department. And they even have the coroner office in the police department. I've never heard of the coroner offices being right in a police department. I've never heard of it. And so it's fantastic. And so I'm trying to just teach you how much education I have outside of college, but on my TV, so that you realize I have a lot more lawyer experience. I mean, I listened to everything those lawyers said. I never lost my attention. And on, like, the George Floyd, I took notes, dictation. I not only do shorthand at 180 words a minute, I know shorthand with your hands. And I took notes to George Floyd's trial, and I had every word in that trial. Anyway, but that trial I will not ever bring up, because too many people will get too upset. Yeah, it's digging up real bad dirt, for a whole, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, so we don't go there. Anyway, but I'll mention different, serial killers, just short. But like when we really get far with Jody, and we can keep looking up more and more stuff, you can keep looking and investigating, researching, discovery, all the steps. Voir dire, I'm not finished. I want you to go watch my 2 voir dires that say the 5 worst mistakes of voir dire. Watch those 2. And I made more voir dires just recently. But mainly, I want you to concentrate on trials and go to the first one and watch it 5 to 10 times at your own convenience. Then go to 2 and watch it 1 billion times. Then 3 1 billion times at your own convenience. And then 4, and then 5, and then 6. And I'm starting to tell you stories. At first I was really focused. I spent hours of teaching you steps, like the preliminary steps before you go into the court. I was teaching you like all the steps before you go into the court, and I taught that a few times, because there's lots of different, and there's lots more to research and tell more about that. And then I started inside the courtroom. A few videos ago, you'll see where we got inside the courtroom, and now here's the first thing that's done. And I literally got to the very, because I've looked it up a few times, like, what's the steps to inside the courtroom once you get inside, and then you get this and that. But this time, I was smart enough to say, what's the first step when you get inside the courtroom for the trial? And the judge enters the room, and bingo, I hit the jackpot. It said, well, the bailiff, when the judge enters the room, before the judge enters the room, the bailiff will say, everyone's seated. Everybody's in the courtroom, and they are sitting down. And what happens is when the judge walks into the courtroom, the bailiff says, everybody rise, and everybody stands up for respect to the judge. And then when the judge sits down, he says, everyone have a seat, please. So I never got that far back in the steps of what's the steps to a trial once you're done with the preliminary and the before court, what's the steps of the courtroom. I never got that far back where the judge walks in and the bailiff says, everyone rise, and she sits down. Everybody sit, please. Okay, so let's start this class. I really have to, every time I teach a class, I have to tell you all that, ramble, all that info, because I get so many new people. And if I don't tell them all that I just said, I know my subscribers got to keep hearing the same thing over and over, but I keep getting new people and new people. My friend said, that's real smart with the tablet. He told me today it says I had, 58,000 views since I started this. 58,000. I know in the beginning I saw one time like 68,000 hits. And I thought, wow. And I don't know if that was for a day or what. I don't know. But this friend of mine told me you've had 50, was it 85 or 58? No, it was 58,000 hits since you started the class, the whole, not just the trial, the whole Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva show, since you started that, day one. You have had 58,000 views. Can you believe that? I'm being seen around the world in all the foreign countries. So I have to explain this to all the new people, and because I'm getting new viewers, thousands of them. Yeah, and if they don't hear this, they might not be interested. And I just want to say also, you always want to stay till the very end, because I spontaneously just start talking after the class, and who knows what comes up, you know what I mean? And like this right now, you got the 2 videos I uploaded this afternoon about 3:30ish, 4 o'clock-ish, somewhere around there, and started getting hits pretty quick. And my point is, my point is, the newest one that's posted is I got a see-through black top on, long sleeves, but it's a see-through black top with a skin tan colored push-up bra. So, it's very sexy, and I've always said so this trials, I always started putting underneath the videos. This trials class is exciting, sensational. It's got fame, fortune, sex, and murder. Yeah, and I started putting that underneath all of my trials. Okay, I started out letting little kids watch, but I started swearing a little bit here and there, and then this last video I posted 2 today, and the very last one, which is the first one you'll see, I'm in a black see-through top. At the end of that class, there is going to be a lot of dirt sex, but it's part of the trial, and we're lawyers. We're trying to pretend like we're learning to be lawyers, but we're not going to be, unless you might be out there. I might have a lot of fans, since I temporarily turned it into a big, huge law class, and I'm taking you through a whole trial. I might have 100 million law students to be a lawyer, paralegal, court reporter, cop. I might have a lot of them, but I'm saying you don't have to want to be in that career to love to watch my show. It's just like watching Dateline. I know 1 million people. Everybody who watches Dateline, they have no intention of being in the law field. Yeah, so you don't have to be in the law field to enjoy my videos. And when you first hear me, you go, oh, well, I don't like that subject she's talking about, and you leave. go to another video, you gotta stay through the whole video, because I could change to another subject, to another subject, to another subject. And you never know. I'm a very spontaneous person. I believe spontaneity is the juice of life. Spontaneity is the juice of life. Spontaneity is life in the most exciting fashion. It's in the moment, it hits you. And you don't know it's coming, and that's the most exciting and sensational than planning something, Yeah, so that's why spontaneous is in the name of my show, and because I'm smart. See my black fingernail? I'm smart. So let's start class. And now, all of you, if you would please subscribe, all the new viewers or viewers that have been hanging around for a while, come ahead, because just do the trial. If you start at one and you watch all of them, you will start to get into this soap opera and you'll get addicted, just like watching Dateline. Or Paula Zahn is a real good one. I don't know if she's still doing it or they're all old episodes, but I came across Paula Zahn and I loved her. So I'm just kind of like, or a Nancy Grace. I'm like a Nancy Grace. But I'm more exciting. Nancy Grace started to get boring. She got hooked on babies being kidnapped. And it was just the same, plot. But for years, I loved Nancy Grace. And she did a lot of high profile, I saw the Michael Jackson, I think, with Nancy Grace. I think I was still with her. I think so. All right. So, you don't have to be going for a law career. I'm just as exciting as Dateline or, any of the famous programs that are out there. Forensic Files is still going. You got Criminal Minds, which is also very realistic. You got a lot of FBI movies I watch. And these series, they make it as real as you can be, That Criminal Minds, it slowed down, which really made me angry. The best one, Chicago Police Department, was the best show I've ever seen. And they took it, they just quit making episodes. I even was walking down the street from coming from I was working for free as a volunteer up in Lincoln Park, Chicago at Paws, Kitty City. So I got off the Brown Line. I was coming up Madison Street to go to the Union Station. I was taking at that time, or Ogilvy, I forget, because I used them both. Okay, so anyway, and I saw them shooting Chicago PD. And they kick ass, and they stopped, and they just keep showing the same. Why? That was the best cop show in history ever. That was the best show I've ever seen. I loved it, and I loved all the actors. Every time they get the best, they take it away. Criminal Minds, it lasted for a good so many years. Best you could be. They were just like the FBI, realistic, and I learned so much about the FBI from all the Criminal Minds. And then they came back just on Mondays, and I don't know if you could still get them on Mondays or not. I live off my laptop because we don't have the TV right now. They're fussing with this cable company. I don't care because I can get more news, movies, and I only do the movies at night when I'm done with class. I'll hit a YouTube movie to go to sleep by. So, so there's lots of programs that I have learned a lot about the FBI, too. All right, let's get started on class, okay? So, law class, okay, you got to put the paper out. I have this bad habit of putting the paper in the middle of the freaking show. Okay, sit upright. All right. All right, so let's go. Keep it down. All right. So, I'm wondering if I need to be a little bit closer. No, you gotta be right there and lean forward. Okay. So now, Law Class 7, Trials. What crimes did Jodi Arias commit? Mesa Police Detective Estefan Flores was on the scene where Travis was found dead. He was also the person Arias called upon learning the news. Let me repeat that. He was also the person Arias called upon learning the news. She told Flores, I guess some cop, detective he is, okay. She told Flores, Detective Flores, that on the day her ex was killed, she was on her way to Utah. My head's getting cut off here. Okay. She was on her way to Utah. There we go. On her way to Utah to visit a new love. Okay? Interest. Okay. Meanwhile, friends told police that they believed Arias to be a stalker, quote unquote, and should be a suspect. Despite Arias saying she had an alibi that day, she agreed to be fingerprinted, which ended up linking her to the scene. Okay? Well, she's not real savvy when it comes to that kind of stuff. She was good playing a lawyer, but not this part. Not this way. Yeah. Okay, Law Class 7, Trials. The crime scene, according to authorities who responded, was gory. Police found a bloody handprint outside of Alexander's bedroom. Yeah, the idiot. So Jodi Arias had blood. See, when you use a butcher knife to stab somebody, the killer always cuts their palms of their hands or their fingers, because when they stabbing them, and they're not doing it gently, they're, angry through the roof. They're like, and the knife slides and it cuts their hands. Yeah. So she had a full-blooded hand, the whole palm print, fingers, thumb, completely. She was running down the hallway, grabbing evidence and throwing it in the washing machine. And then one time running down the hallway, she had to put her hand up against the hallway wall to, so she didn't fall, because she was like carrying stuff and nervous and running fast. And so she, pushed onto the wall to hold herself from falling. And so it was a perfect handprint of her blood. And there was Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander's blood were everywhere. So that we knew. Okay, so now it says a bloody handprint outside of Alexander's bedroom, and long brown hairs on the floor and walls of the bedroom, period. Plus, a camera was found in the home's washing machine. Who would think to put a camera in a washing machine? And you would think, for one thing, it would break, Yeah, like I'm going to wash, just germs. Like, I would think it would break, but wait till you hear about the camera. I guess that's what she thought, too. It would break. I mean, it went through the soapy detergent, hot, freaking, with other evidence. Yeah, it did a whole washing machine recycle. And it was left like that when the police got there. Okay, so on the floor and the walls was brown hair of the bathroom. Plus, a camera was found in the home's washing machine, which, according to Detective Flores, had photographs of Alexander and Arias, time-stamped from the day of the murder. Authorities later learned the bloody prints belonged to both Alexander and Arias, prompting Detective Flores and police arrest her in California. Okay, Travis Alexander. I get him mixed up with Trayvon Martin. Trayvon Martin's a black boy that got murdered, and I watched his trial. He was 16 years old in Orlando, Florida. So I watched his trial. It was right next to Travis Alexander's trial. So I keep getting mixed up. Trayvon Martin, Travis Alexander. And I keep tripping up on their first names, so I'm sorry. But now you know why. Okay, so Travis Alexander was dating Jodi Arias. Okay. During the investigation, it was learned that a .25 caliber gun, a .25 .25 caliber gun was missing from Arias's grandparents' home. Period. While she initially denied that she was at Travis's home day he was killed. She ultimately admitted to being there after spending one night in jail. She said they had sex, took photos in the shower, and were attacked by masked intruders. However, authorities didn't believe her narrative and charged her with first-degree murder, quote unquote. Investigators say that Arias stalked Alexander. No, scratch that. Okay, so investigators say that Arias stabbed Alexander almost 30 times, slit his throat from ear to ear, and shot him in the head. Well, wait till you see, this is what I'm saying. You don't know how much excitement you're going to be getting in the future. Well, I told it in one of my videos in the past couple of days. It might be in one of the ones I uploaded today. I told about I had a best friend that had stabbed a man to death 126 times in Tennessee, and I didn't know it. I'm running around with this woman and a serial killer. Yeah, so I've already done this. That's why you got to look at all my videos. The most recent, probably for now, to get a lot of stuff. For now, maybe like do like the first 4 rows for a while and do them over and over and watch them all. Because just the other day, I don't know if it's uploaded today or it'll be in a video from the past week, but I told this whole story about my serial killer best girlfriend I met when I moved into this place, but I lived here for 2 years and I moved out for 2 years and I came back here. And she was the first person I met, and I fell in love with her because she was manic like me, and she would make me laugh. So I'm not telling anymore because I told this story already. So I'm not going to repeat, my subscribers and all the people that have heard it don't want to hear it again. That's why you have to go watch every video from last week, because in the past few days, I just told that story about my girl. I got a picture of her. I posted in my social media, and I said, my girlfriend in this picture, I got Shannon, my girlfriend, on one side of me, and I'm holding Sandra's hand next on the other side of me in the picture. And I had no idea I'm running around with a serial killer. But I'm not telling you anymore. But I was on her hit list. She ended up stabbing her sister, and I was on her hit list and her dad. And I'm not saying no more. You got to watch the videos to catch this stuff, okay? It's that simple. Watch my videos to the end. And this stuff comes out at the end of class. Okay. So, we have to go backtrack because it's right in the middle of a sentence. Okay, so at the end of this piece of paper, it says, investigators say that Arias stabbed Alexander almost 30 times, slit his throat, and shot him in the head. Okay? At his Mesa, Arizona home. Okay. Law Class 7. Arias, who pleaded not guilty to first-degree murder, was held behind bars for over 4 years. Wow. Before the start of her criminal trial. Wow. On January 2nd, 2013. I just moved back here August the 2nd, 2013. Okay, so on trial, Arias said she killed Alexander in self-defense after he attacked her. So I don't have any more on that because I had to go to an appointment and I couldn't find that. So that's done. Now we're starting a whole new thing, and these pages all go together. Okay, so now Law Class 7. So I was kind of lost for where to go, and I saw a video of the prosecuting attorney, who I know very well from watching. I watched the whole trial, yeah. And then they did a second phase trial to decide her sentence, murder or death row or life without parole. And the judge finally let her play her own lawyer for the second phase. So I don't know why they didn't I thought the second trial was from the beginning again. They did have a new jury, so you have to have a new jury. But I thought they were starting a whole new second trial like they did the first. Hers didn't do that. They were just determining whether, to give her the death sentence or life without parole. And the judge finally said, all right, I'll let Jody play her own lawyer for that, But that don't make sense to me because in the Broderick one, Betty Broderick, which you all also hear, I will also be doing her high profile. So each one will be the center of attention when I get to them, okay? But Broderick, I saw both of hers live, yeah. I've seen all these serial killers live, their trials, yeah. And Broderick had a mistrial the first time, just like Jody. But for some reason, Broderick, they made her go through a second trial back from the very beginning, starting all over again. I don't know why. I don't know. Could it be the states? Well, Broderick's was in California, but see, Jody, even though she lived in California, her crime was committed in Arizona. So, she's in prison in Arizona. But Broderick, so maybe they have there's a reason why. I'll have to look into, that's actually something good to look into. Why did Jody only have to have in her second trial? Because it was a hung jury. So how come she didn't have to have a whole nother trial, like Broderick? I'm going to get to the bottom of that. And the states might have something to do with that. Okay, so so what I did was I took off my stereo headphones that I love to listen to when I'm looking up and researching. I'm writing from my laptop, see, notes, and it's text. So I'm looking up, and I'm writing what I want to write, what I find I like, and I'm writing it. I get to blast my music, and blasting music makes, your endorphins fly, and Your axons and dendrites are flying really fast, so I can think really hard. Well, I'm already manic, so already I'm thinking harder than the normal person. But then I like the blasting music, and it goes even, I get into it even more, and I get more into researching more instead of getting lazy. Oh, I'm sick, like I started to feel tonight. I'm going to make this one a little shorter, but it's still good length. So, what point was I trying to say? Anyway, okay. Oh, so I didn't know what to do, and after I wrote that little bit, and I said, when I came back from the appointment, I was asking all these questions to Cortana, my Microsoft assistant. So she's got the braids of a multi-billion-dollar Microsoft business. So her answer, she has a conversation with me, unlike Google. And so she's smarter than any lawyer on this planet, because it's a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar business, Microsoft. So she's the best credit I could get. And when I teach, like the solar system, I use NASA. So, but I'm not going to teach them for a while. I was, but not for a while. Okay, we got to stick to the point here. So, I'm trying to tell you how I got to what I'm going to teach you right now. I said, all right, take the damn headphones off and start watching videos and taking notes from them too, because you need to do that too. And right up popped the prosecuting attorney Martinez, which I've already taught you a lot in my in all my trial classes, trial class 1, 2, 3. We keep talking about what we're on now, 7. So trial 1 through 7, called trials, classes 1 through 7. You got to watch them all, because I taught you a lot about the prosecuting attorney already with the opening statements, yes. And so I decided to go in a video of him, a long one. It said it was a full episode or something, but I wasn't going to stay for the full episode because it was getting late and I'm tired. I've been working so hard since I started this Miss Melinda's Spontaneous Smart Diva show back around February 13th. I have been busting my butt studying. I don't work. I'm retired for life. If I was even working part-time, you wouldn't have me teaching you. No, but I'm retired for life, and I love what I'm doing. So you're lucky you're getting me for free. So, and yeah, you'll be real shocked at the end of or even the middle of my videos. I talk through all of them. It's all spontaneity. But I might someday have a life story I want to tell. I want to tell them this life story. I will say to you, I'm going to tell you a life story, and I planned it, well, they'll know it's not spontaneous because I'm going to say, I'm going to tell you a life story I just thought of that I thought you guys would really enjoy hearing. And then when it is spontaneous, well, they can see that because I'll be talking away like birds. That one, I was talking about birds, and all of a sudden I said, oh my God, that made me just think of a really cool story about birds. And see, so all my fans and students saw that happened to be spontaneously. I thought of this life story, life story that happened to me with birds, because I said the word birds. I was thinking about birds for some other reason, and whatever the reason was, I go, oh my God, that just reminded me a couple years ago of this interaction I had with some birds in my back parking lot. And I tell that whole story. And if you want to hear it, you got to go to my silver gray sweater that's up to my neck. And it's got a silver gray collar with pearls, a bunch of pearls. And it busted 1,000 hits weeks ago. Yeah. It tells the whole story about the birds and what happened to me with the birds. And I'm not going to say another word. because you need to watch my videos for yourself if you want to hear my stories. I'm not going to keep repeating them for new people and have my old subscribers and fans and viewers have to hear the same stories over. You got to go watch it. So you look for my silver sweater. It's not that many rows down. Silver gray. Gray. Look, it's more gray. Don't think silver, but gray. Like this top is gray, not silver. So gray. You're looking for a gray sweater with a little collar, and it has a bunch of pearls on it. And it's busted 1,000 hits. Go in there. And at the end, I go spontaneously into a life story. And it's a cool experience that I learned something very interesting. Yeah. So go into that. And one more suggestion. Everybody skips the video where I'm wearing, I thought, I'm going to do a diva, a different kind of diva costume. I'm going to wear a white wool jacket I just bought a couple years ago, but it's never been worn. Bright white, creamy white, real cute style. I've never worn it yet. And it goes down below my knees. And it's got puffy embellishments, and it's got big collar. And I push the collar up, straight up, around my neck, so, like an Elvis Presley look, And I got diva, Hollywood diva, really Hollywood diva sunglasses on. And I thought, a lot of people will want to see what the hell I'm going to say behind that video, right? But they don't. They're like, we can't, see my chest, so we're not going to go there? Well, they go to a lot of my sweater ones that can't see any of my cleavage or bosoms. And they go in there, and I've hit 1,000 hits on a lot of sweater ones, or I'm gaining up to 1,000 on a lot of my sweater ones. But for some reason, the dummies don't think there's going to be anything good behind the jacket. Hey, did you ever think I might take the damn jacket off? Duh. Did you ever think that maybe I'm going to say some damn interesting, things to you that you're going to enjoy? Don't you ever watch like Dateline or anything, Forensic Files or Nancy Grace or, programs, Dr. Drew or daytime, host shows. And they won't go in there because I'm wearing a coat with the collar up and a diva. I thought everybody will be flocking inside that sucker. What the hell is she going to say behind that costume? They won't go. It's taken me like a month and a half to get up to, I think, close to 200 hits. Like, everybody just skips it. I would be dying to hear what the person's going to say behind that diva costume. Yeah. Oh, and there's another one that they just skipped. I got 2 Santa Monicas, Life in Santa Monica. Well, the one has got twice as many hits, but it's still just like 200 hits or something. But the first Santa Monica one, it made it to like 150, and it just froze. And nobody has ever gone in there again. And it's Life in Santa Monica. Why? At least the second one has got, usually the first one will get the most. This time the second one got more. But they're both stuck drips, They're still worth watch time for me, yeah. But they're stuck below 200, and they see Life in Santa Monica. That doesn't interest you? You want to hear what the stories I have to say happened to me in Santa Monica, California? Nobody seems to. I don't even want to give her a chance. Like, how can you not be interested? And somebody says, "Hey, I got a story to tell in Santa Monica, California." I damn well would want to hear it. Especially, that's an interesting city to be in. There's a lot of famous people right there. Yeah. And nobody wants to hear my stories of Santa Monica. Can anybody figure that one out? I don't know, but I wish you'd give me some answers. Why they're not interested in Santa Monica, a story or two. Well, it's actually 2 or 3. I don't understand why they don't even hit like a fast view. Yeah, I just get nothing. They're frozen, those two. And I can't explain it. I would love to know the psychiatric, frame of mind that my viewers are, not hitting it, or they hit it for a split second so it don't count. Like, why is my viewers and subscribers and fans not dipping into Santa Monica at all? I mean, they don't even want to give it a chance, not even a chance. Like, what is up? Give me the psychiatry of your brain, would you, please? And the same one, please go watch my Cream Jacket. It goes on a long time. Go watch it. All right, but I want you to watch these 7 classes first and over, This stuff ain't all in chronological order. The steps are, like in the beginning. When I tell you, I'm telling you the steps. That's in order. But you'll know it because I'll be telling you. But all these pages I'm reading, I'm just reading all over the place today. Okay, so I went into Juan Martinez is the prosecuting attorney for the state of Arizona versus Jodi Arias. Okay, I watched the whole trial. It was one of the most exciting trials I've ever watched, because I've already told you, if you watch my videos, I'm not going to repeat this, I'm going to just say this. He gets loud. I'm not going to tell you anymore. You go back and you watch my videos and find out for yourself, because I don't want my other subscribers sitting here listening to the same stories over and over. For the new people, you got to watch my videos if you want to know these interesting stories. They pop out during the middle of the video, or I'm elaborating my education onto something I'm teaching you. I will put in my 2 cents, All right, so I decided I was going to do a video. I was going to watch a video of the prosecuting attorney. And it said full, so I think it was like an hour long, but I wasn't going to do that all at once. No way. So here's Juan Martinez with a reporter, and he's live on my computer laptop, face up right in the screen. So Juan Martinez says to the reporter, "You want to make sure your point is heard." Jodi Arias and her legal team said, prosecutor, get the paper out of there, Melinda. I keep forgetting that. Oh, okay. And I'm leaning back. I can't do that. All right, let's start over. You want to make sure your point is heard. Jodi Arias and her legal team said Prosecutor Martinez bullied Jodi Arias. Martinez said, "No, I didn't." Quote, "There is certain rules, and the judge didn't stop him for bullying. Just said," quote, "voice may be a little loud." It was a female judge. She was real cool, yeah. All she said was voice may be a little loud. She didn't hold him responsible for bullying Jodi. Jodi said she had to get treatment due to Martinez badgering her. He said he was just trying to get to whatever it was he was trying to get to her. He was just trying to get something out of her, that he was, interested. All the lawyers are fighting in high-profile trials. Oh, and high-profile trials do go a lot longer than poor people's trials. I just read on the internet today, Jodi Arias' trial lasted 4 months. That's a long trial, and it's because it was a high-profile trial. See, poor people, well, they weren't. Well, none of those people were rich, but it was a money-making trial because it had everything. Sex, murder, sensation, excitement, and paparazzis everywhere. And magazines and news channels were making tons of money off this. So anyway, the reporter said judge let her talk to Alexander's family. And she talked real mean to him. And prosecutor said, that's Jodi. She will talk however she wants. And I think okay, now I'm talking, okay? I wrote this down in my own thoughts at this point. I said, quote, I think she was angry because she felt in murdering Travis Alexander that he didn't get to bring this new girlfriend to Cancun, Mexico. And he will never get to enjoy life. Jodi, knows that he never got to go to Cancun with another woman on her, and that he will never get to enjoy life. And she says, without the girl, he doesn't get to go with the girl or get married. He never will get to get married and have kids, because she wanted to be them get married and have kids. Now she murdered him. Ha ha. You can't ever get married or have kids, period. Ha ha. No. If I can't have you, no one's going to have you. And that's her attitude. And she feels good that she did this because she won. In her mind, she won. And she can't enjoy life. He can't enjoy life with another girl or get married and have kids. He will never get to enjoy life again without her. His last fun he was having fun the night that she murdered him. He was having a ball with Jodi Arias. They took 200 naked pictures, and he's singing in the shower, and he had a ball with her. As much as evil as she was, he didn't think that, he figured he's a man and he could handle her. And his friends are all like, I think this woman is more scary and dangerous than Travis Alexander realizes, because she is so beautiful. And she was giving him, not all women can give men dynamite sex, and not all men can give women dynamite sex. But they were both able to give each other dynamite sex. So they had the ultimate. And he just could not let go of the sex. That's what kept reeling him back in again. So she went there that night with the plan that she's going to bring up, will you take me to Cancun when I'm really, giving him a blowjob and we're having wild sex and screwing away. I'm going to bring up Cancun. Will you take me? Will you take me? And convince them. They were all leaving in the morning, him with his friends. But it didn't work. He said, no, I'm taking the other girl. That's it. And so at the right time, when they are finally exhausted from taking 200 pictures naked and having sex for 24 hours, she gets him in the shower naked, where he's vulnerable. And now her mind's made up. He ain't taking me to Cancun. He ain't going anywhere. If I can't have him, nobody is. He ain't going to leave me. He ain't going to leave me. No. I'm not going to have him go with another woman. My heart's broken. He's been screwing me for the past 24 hours, the past 2 years. We've been in bed for hours and hours, and he's so addicted to my sex. He goes crazy. But he just couldn't let it go. But they keep calling him a devout Mormon. Well, that's a big joke. But that's in my past video, so I can't start that conversation up again. Anyway, so she decided, he's dead. I'm killing him. And he ain't ever going to have get another girlfriend. I will be the best sex he ever had, and I will always be, for eternity, the last girl and the last human being that he had a blast with at his house. I am the last person that he was partying up a storm with her. He was in love with her, but he hated it, you know. But he could not let her sex go. He just could not let her good sex go. And so she's like, you're not going to live. I'm going to kill you. And I am going to find somebody else good looking and rich. And I'm going to get married and settle down and have kids. And you're never going to get that. So I won, bitch. There. That's like, I'm telling you how she's thinking, okay? So that's how that went. And so she's, till this day, she feels like she won. Because serial killers, well, she's not a serial killer. She didn't kill anybody. Yeah. And we don't know if she would have if she got out, whatever. But she can't be a serial killer. We can't call her that. No, okay. But now, murderers are not afraid of jail, okay? So she feels like I won. I'm having a ball in prison. She sings holy songs. They show it on videos on YouTube, singing holy songs, and she has all these people loving her. This one girl that was in her tier, got like a tattoo of Jody. Got a tattoo of her. I think Jody gave the tattoo. I think she gives it. She's an artist, so she sells art. I think they let her sell art to the public, which is insane. But she has a lot of fun. She's a librarian aide. An aide she was. Then she became something else. So she's enjoying it. But when they said this, I couldn't believe it. The whole time, even though she's not on death row, she's on 23-hour lockup time. So she only gets 1 hour a day. I don't see how you can be a librarian. It's not a librarian because you have to have a big college degree. She was called a library aide, just like a helper. And doing all these other things. I don't see how you could do all these things in 1 hour. So I'm wondering if they're letting her out maybe for a few activities. They said that she was locked down 23 hours and only out 1 hour. I would go crazy. Oh, what do you call it? The walls crawling in on me. I can't think of the rhetoric. The walls would be coming in on me and I'd have a fatal heart attack. Okay, so reporters said judge let Jody talk to Travis Alexander's family. She let her talk to them. And I don't know, I guess the judge thought maybe it'd be best for them too, her and them. Maybe the family just, I don't know, but she let her do it. But she talked to Alexander's family, real mean to him. And she talked real mean to them. And the prosecutor said that she will talk however she wants, I think. And then I told you what I thought. Okay, next page. But when Jody is stuck, okay, and this is me talking now. I'm still talking, okay? But when Jody is stuck in a courtroom with the entire 7 other siblings he had, and I think mother of Travis, both of Jodi Arias's parents were there, but only the mother, I think the mother was there for Travis Alexander. I think she was, but the father died. Well, you got to go watch the videos. I'm not telling you this. I just told this. Yeah, you're going to have to watch my videos if you want to know all this stuff. Watch trial page 1 through 7. And I'm not going to sit here and repeat everything I just told my subscribers. Okay, so stay on here. So I'm talking and I'm saying, I think with his family there, so she doesn't feel like a winner when she's stuck with his family, all 7 siblings, and the mother, maybe the mother, I'm not sure. The father, I'm not going to tell you. You got to watch the videos starting page 1 called Trials. I'm not going to tell you about the father. You got to watch the videos and find out. Okay, so anyway, but what I'm trying to say is Arias felt like she won because she murdered Travis before he could hurt her. And she knows I am the last one that had a ball, that Travis Alexander was partying up a storm and having a ball. I mean, he was having a ball because she gave the best sex. This went on for like 24 hours. So he was having so much fun. And she knows I'm the last one that he ever will get to ever have fun in life again. I'm it. I was the last one he had a ball with. He had more fun than me than when he was out with his friends. Whether, he didn't like to admit it, but he was having more fun with her than he was his own friends. Yeah, and he wasn't listening. They were all Mormons, devout. Yeah, well, he obviously wasn't listening to his friends or care much about his devout, because he calls himself a devout Mormon. Well, obviously you're not devout because you hopped in the sack with her right away. And so she feels like she won because I'm the last one that he enjoyed life to the fullest degree. And he can never take another girl after me. I am the only girl he had. And he will never get to take another girlfriend anywhere, never have another girlfriend, or ever get married or have kids. So now, she feels like she won. But now when she's in this courtroom, and she's stuck with his family there, okay? Who's ever there? The whole family. And probably relatives, aunts, uncles, cousins. Yeah, of course. So she feels intimidated, I believe, is my feeling. And so at this particular moment, while she's in this trial, she's still feeling a winner over Travis, but she's not feeling a winner in the spur of the moment in front of his whole family, including aunts, uncles, and cousins, and the 7 siblings. She ain't feeling like the winner in the courtroom with all these people, staring at her for him. So that's why she started talking mean to him and down to him, because she wanted to degrade them. See, that's why people insult people when they're intimidated. Yeah. I would like to Cortana that. Looked at my Microsoft Assistant and elaborate on that. But I know it was that she talked mean to him because she was feeling, intimidated by all this huge family that she just murdered. But she has no guilt or remorse. No, none of that. It's all about her. It's all about her. So she went into the competition with Travis. She got to be the last girl to have sex. He's dead, he's dead, so I didn't get hurt. I'm talking, me saying this, because you're the one dead. Okay, and then I guess the prosecuting attorney says in this video, first she says, I don't know what happened to him. Then she says, I felt the knife go into him. Martinez says, quote, I'm not going to sit here and think about the past. You must move on. He's telling the reporter. You must move on. The jury did what they did. The jury did what they did, says the prosecuting attorney, Martinez. He says the jury did what they did. You must move on. And it's time to move on, quote unquote. per prosecuting attorney Juan Martinez. And then he continues to say to the reporter, Juan Martinez, he says, quote, "I will abide by the rulings," unquote. Martinez, he want jurors 17 removed, and judge said no. Quote, "There's a process set in place." Oh, I think that now it's the prosecuting attorney talking. Okay, so the prosecuting attorney. Let me repeat this. Prosecuting attorney said to the reporter, quote, "I will abide by the rulings," because the reporter's wanting to know why, he thinks I'm gonna. The reporter wanted to know what happened to him. And then she says, "I felt the knife going." Martinez says, I'm not going to sit here and think about the past. You must move on. The jury did what they did." That's the prosecuting attorney. "And time to move on." And then he continued, prosecuting attorney Martinez said, "I will abide by the rulings." So he wasn't going to fight when I guess he wanted this juror removed. And then he wanted juror removed. Judge said no, the 17th juror can't be removed. And Martinez said, well, quote, "There's a process set in place." So this is Martinez explaining to the reporter why he didn't argue about the judge taking away this 17th juror. He didn't argue with her because he says, quote, Martinez says, "There's a process set in place. And again, I am gonna go with it." So he keeps telling the reporter, "I go with the process." Oh, I got a really juicy story that's still coming up. I didn't jump off my computer yet. Oh, and just when I was gonna, I noticed a cool story. Okay, and maybe I could do a little research on her and tell about this other girl, but not too much. I do very little about other people, and this other woman that it has to do with this conversation I don't think was a whole high profile child. But here is what I caught when I was about to quit teaching. I got 3 pages left. Okay, so let's see. I think it's Martinez talking. So, quote, "To go back and think," yeah, this is definitely Juan Martinez, prosecuting attorney. He says, "To go back and think of things I could have done is not very productive," unquote. That was per Juan. Quote, "Why was it go back and redo the sentencing trial," unquote. The reporter asked, "Was that your decision?" And Juan Martinez, prosecuting attorney, said, "No, Montgomery's decision. So I will have to research with my Microsoft assistant who Montgomery is." Montgomery is somebody big because he's the one that made the decision that they had to redo the sentencing trial. So see, that was some important information I caught for you off of watching a video. So I got to do a lot more video watching. It's just I want to have my blasting music on when I'm researching, and I can't do that when I'm watching videos. But look at all the stuff I got out of watching Juan Martinez, the prosecuting video. I got a lot of good stuff out of there. This right here is something real good I would have missed. It's at the end. I was going to stop, and it says to go back and think of things I could have done is not productive. And he says, why was it? Oh, I think this is the reporter. Why was it go back and redo the sentencing trial? Reporter asked. Was that your decision? The reporter asked, prosecuting Martinez. Was that your decision? Martinez to redo the sentencing trial? And prosecuting attorney said, no, Montgomery's decision, quote unquote. So tomorrow I'll find out who Montgomery is for you guys, okay? See, that's a big thing to learn in this trial. It's interesting. It's interesting. Now we know who called it, and now we want to know who he is. Why this guy wanted to do a redo on the sentencing trial. You know, who is he? He's a big shot because he made the decision. Well, what do you mean? The judge couldn't disagree with Montgomery? We have to go, I have to Microsoft that one. How did he made the decision over the judge? Who is this guy? We want to know who Montgomery is, all about him, and how he had the power to say, we're going to redo the sentencings. Well, who the hell is he? And did the judge just agree? Or did she have a right to disagree? Well, she's the judge, so I'm going to ask all these questions. And I'll get back to you on Montgomery. I won't forget, because that's a biggie. Okay, there's 2 pages left. So, now, it could be, so the guy was saying, I think the reporter, that doing this retrial, sentencing trial, it could cost like $1 million to try again. Is that worth it? That was the reporter asking Juan Martinez, the prosecuting attorney. Was it worth it for the $1 million? He says, I get either way. I don't know how much it costs the other legal team, Jody's team, but he says, I get the same amount of money either way. So, now here we get a big surprise story by just watching Letting Martinez video, watching him. Well, I knew I wanted to watch his video opening statements. I wanted to learn that and how a lawyer would open it and how he talks. But I got into this video, and there's a lot of interesting stuff. This is what I caught. So that was interesting what I just taught you about this Montgomery guy. We got to find out about him. And if he overpowered the judge, was there a debate between him and the judge about this retrial, right? So I'm going to look into Montgomery tomorrow for you guys. Here's the last story. It's always when I'm about to leave for good. I go scroll a little bit down, and bam, there's a really interesting story. And we're not going to go heavy into that. But right after criminal defendant is guilty, she got to have an interview. I'm getting the impression maybe they let all the people, maybe when it's criminal trial and they get guilty, I don't know if they let them all, criminal, I'm talking criminal, felony, criminal, felony, murder, I'm talking high profile trials or even low profile. Do they let all the defendants that are, verdict is guilty, do they let them all go for an interview right after? I don't know. I'll look into that too. But they let Jody do it. And so she went right into an interview. So, quote, okay, so Juan Martinez says, the prosecuting attorney tells the reporter, Jody, she certainly made herself available to the media as much as possible. Juan said, reporter said, do you think it hurt her? Juan says, I really don't know. But I don't understand what the reporter means when he says, do you think it hurt her? Because the interview wasn't until after she was, the verdict was guilty. So how could it hurt her? Yeah, unless it says right after. I am writing exactly what it said on my computer. I'm not talking right now. This is the computer saying right after the criminal, trial, when she the verdict was guilty, they let her do an interview right away. And the reporter asks, do you think that hurt her? Well, how could it hurt her? She's already guilty. All because, well, they didn't know, they wouldn't have known yet that they were going to do a retrial on the sentence. I'm not sure. I'm going to have to look into that because I don't see how it could hurt her to do an interview. Once she's guilty, she's guilty. Unless she's thinking that interview could hurt her for her rephrase, for her resentencing trial. Maybe that's what he's saying. Could it hurt her resentencing trial? Maybe that's what he was asking. That must be. I don't see it any other way, you know. All right. Oh, so the last thing I got here, and I'm not going into it, but just a real tip of the iceberg. So the reporter mentioned about this woman that Juan Martinez got her sent to death row. See, so he's got a good reputation to the law field, you know, to the political powers in the courtrooms and judges, you know, and lawyers and prosecuting attorneys. He's got a lot of power because he managed to get one woman who, I don't know how she killed her, but she was married to hers, he said. But she killed her husband, and the reporter knew about it and said, well, how did you get Wendy on death row? And you couldn't get Jodi Arias on death row. So that was a big, piece of information. Juan Martinez has got a woman, he got a woman put on death row. That's a big deal for me and you, my fans and students. You know, you're following this soap opera. It's interesting to know that he got a woman put away on death row, and that's not easy to do. And she killed her husband. So Juan said, well, she was married to hers. And so, yeah, the reporter said, how did you get Wendy on death row and not Jodi, and to get the death penalty and not Jodi? Juan says, Juan Martinez's answer, how he got Wendy on death row for killing her husband. Jodi's his boyfriend, not husband. His answer was, he says, I don't know how I got Wendy on death row and not Jodi. He said, I don't know. It just depends on the jury. It just depends on the jury and all the different things that happen in a trial. Like each trial has completely different things happen in their trial. Each trial, no matter that they have to have the same steps, you know, and all that stuff, no trial is ever identical. So he probably got her on death row because a lot of different things happened different than Jodi's, you know. And he's a damn good lawyer. So that's why he got this high profile. So that was another thing I wanted to look up is, I'm going to write that down in a minute. How many trials has he won? How many trials has he represented? How many has he won? How many has he lost? Because you got to have a record, you know, a sky-high record. And getting that woman on death row has to be a real feather in his hat, you know. All right, so I'm going to let you guys go. And I got to quit telling the same stories over and over because my subscribers and even viewers watch me even if they don't hit my subscribe button. And I keep wanting to teach the new people. I can't keep saying the same stories, though. You guys got to go watch this Law Class 1 trials, all the way through 7, okay? And then you will hear the stories. And you want to hear about the birds? You got to go click in the gray sweater with the pearls on the collar, okay? That's busted 1,000 hits. So I'm not just busting 1,000 because I'm, you know, showing my bosoms, okay? I busted 1,000 on a lot of sweaters. You got to go see the bird story in the gray sweater. Go to the cream jacket, winter jacket. Go to the cream colored winter jacket and watch me. It's a long one. You just got to keep watching and listening. You never know what's going to come next and next. And try to, but first I want everybody with me on the same page. So please subscribe and go back, the ones that are just subscribing, and hit my like button, please. It'll make me smile, see? And you get to see my bright white teeth. I do this at the end of every class. These are my permanent roots and permanent teeth, permanent implant teeth, my permanent teeth implants, bright white, see? As you can hardly see them when I'm talking, so I have to show them at the end of the class. See? Cheese? Okay. Subscribe for me, please. And get on these 7 classes first and watch them over and over so you can get with us. Yeah, everything's not going to be in chronological order. But when I'm teaching the steps, just in the beginning, I show you the steps. I got just the other day, like yesterday or the day before, I got 3 different pages saying, here's 7 steps to a criminal trial. And I got one that said 8 steps and 10 steps. But 10 was missing 2. They only had 8 videos on 10. And the steps, I mean. And like the one that was 8 was missing like 2 steps. But anyway, it's 3 pages of steps in order in the courtroom in a criminal trial. And so watch those. I think that's going to be inside these classes here. Okay? So hop aboard and get on this class, because this has got a lot of, it's going to stay exciting. It's going to have more sensation, excitement. It's going to have more fame, fortune, sex, and murder. What more can you get? Because I will be I got a whole favorite bunch of high profile, that the plots, like you like to read a book. Well, I don't like reading books. I like to entertain the people and teach the people. And I'm like the narrator, or the I'm like reporting, the trials. I consider myself like a news reporter, a journalist. I've always been. And court reporting, see, it's all reporting. And then paralegal. I have an associate degree in paralegal. And I practiced my court reporting, not legally, because, I didn't take the state test. But I just practiced in a law firm on my steno machine on a tripod in a law firm, just practicing. I didn't take depositions, I didn't pass. I didn't take the test. I moved to another college. I've been to 3 colleges. So you guys, first all of you, get with, because this is getting better and better, okay? And it's just it's gonna be all over the place with this trial, though. Just the steps, I will, say like in order. If there's like if I say, oh, this step, and I'm talking about it, I'll go, oh, and this is before that step, and this is after that step, that kind of thing. But like here, I'm just all over the place, and that's fine. That's fine. We want it, interesting, exciting. So you learned a lot about the prosecuting attorney, that he put a woman on death row. Yeah. So I'm going to continue. I'm going to look up his record as a lawyer. And I'm going to look up, I should look up Jody's, both of his, a man and a woman. And I'm going to look up that Montgomery. Okay, so please subscribe. Okay, and have fun with us. catch up with this class. And once you're caught up with this class, you can start jumping all over the place. And, oh, I think I'll try that one. But don't judge it by the way I look. And if I'm wearing a sweater, please go in and watch it. I am trying to teach you things. I don't want you just saying, well, she's not showing her cleavage or her bosom, so I'm not even bothering. Watch my sweaters. And I'm going to be wearing sweaters next in the fall for this class or whatever class. And you better be reading, listening and watching my videos to the end. And you can't just skip them because I'm wearing sweaters when it's cold outside. Okay? You got to watch all my videos. They are interesting. Why skip them? You don't have a clue what I'm going to say. And you could tell just from watching one video of me, you don't know what I'm going to say. All right. I love all you guys. I love my subscribers. I love my fans. I love my viewers. And I wish the viewers would subscribe and hop aboard and watch them all. And it's gotten so much better than the beginning. When I first started, I was fist fighting with my tablet. And so I'd be like going all over, or my head would be stiff like this. And I'd be trying to talk way far over here, and I'm stuttering and falling all over the place because I don't know how to use this tablet. It's brand new, expensive, I got a tutor, and he's starting to tutor me how to use this. And I've gotten a lot better because I sit up at a table. All right, so subscribe, you guys, and hop in this class and get all this down pat for this class. And I will be doing this the rest of my life. So it's just like I would watch, if they came up with new Dateline, I would keep watching Dateline. I watched Dateline for probably 40 years. And I think it's still making new episodes, if I'm not mistaken. There's so many shows. So I'm a show that you will never get sick of because it's going to be high-profile trials. And I am always into the research when I'm blasting my music. I'm thinking deeper and deeper, So I will be teaching, but I will be teaching eventually, here and there, I will teach some neurology and neuroterminology. I made up that word, but my Microsoft assistant said, sure, you could turn it into a word. Yeah, it's a word. I made it up, but it is a legitimate word, neuroterminology, because you have legal terminology, you have biology, and so that's how that goes. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Good night.